touched on a couple of projects coming up as well. Some collabs. You've got something coming up with Big Hutch, Colt 187, and Sugarcane as well. I mean, they're just massive right there.
Yeah, I got some. That's coming up real soon. I got one. We got a single out called Hard in the Paint. You can go to www.buddyboymusic.com. That's right there on my IG link. You know, I got to throw that tag out there. And we are called the Architects of G-Funk. We got a project coming out next year. We got the Sugarcane album on the way. We got the Hush single out there doing numbers, starting to pick up. And we got some more goodies, man. We'll be here all day trying to explain what's going on. But most of the things is there, but I'm real excited. I want to stick to the script. I'm real excited what me and Kool Rock is doing, because it's much more than just doing one song. No, we're going to have a whole project eventually we're going to put out in 2022 called Kokane Kool. You know what I'm saying? And plus, this man is working on a documentary that he can fill you in, because I'm just grateful to carry the bags, man, when it comes to what he doing, because unfortunately our dear, our brothers is just gone, Marky D and Buff, fam. So it's really sentimental coming from him. You know what I mean? So it's really gonna hit the, and if you can elaborate more on some of the things that you doing. Let him tell you, man, it's incredible. Trust that.
Oh yeah, I'm putting together the first hip hop tour documentary, which was the Fresh Festival. So we're going to start working on that pretty soon. But before we do that, we're going to do the Disco 3 Fatboys documentary, which story has to be told. A lot of people tend to think the Fatboys was one-dimensional and that we only rapped about one specific subject, but it was nothing like that. So as giving props and respect and honor to the legacy of the two members who are no longer here, we're going to do a documentary about the Disco 3 / Fatboys. We were Disco 3 before Fatboys, so that's how we're going to go out, as Disco 3, aka Fatboys. So me and Kokane going to start working on that as soon as possible. And like I said, after that, I'm going to get started on the Fresh Festival tour, which happened in '84. Like I said, it was a tour that had to be successful for everything to transcend after that. So any tours that came after that, Up in Smoke tour, Hard Knock Life tour, any tour that Puffy was on, any tour that any tours that came after that, it was because of the success of the Fresh Festival. So I want people to know about the first hip hop tour ever, which was the Fresh Festival, and we're going to pitch that to Netflix, and we're going to start production on that as soon as we finish up me and Kokane finish up the Disco 3 Fatboys documentary.
Amazing, man. That's hip hop history, man. That's a good appetite for that right now, man.
It's like you hear a lot of rappers now. Just like every week you pop up, a rapper is gone.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something. I just think wherever popular music is, that's where the ghetto is gonna be.
Right.
Period. You know what I mean? And I don't like to compare, our era versus the new generation, because really we're here to hand the baton down to them. Just like our forefathers, your James Browns and your Parliaments and your Kool Hercs and Grandmaster Flash. It was more tribal. We need to get back to that tribal again, to where the attitude changes between our era and the new generation. And good music is good music. Ain't no substitution for good music. If it's dope, it's dope.
Exactly. If it's dope, it's dope. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it personally when you hark back to the past, the elements and the funk, like George says, funk gets stronger, as it goes on, and you can tap into that and you can do your thing. I personally think you should give a nod to the past, man, because like you said.
Well, we did that. You know what it is that when hip hop started to explode, and I would say from '85 to like '89, every song was sampling James Brown.
Yeah.
So he was giving a nod to James Brown and saying we haven't escaped from that James Brown era. because all songs that were sampled by James Brown. You know, we were sampling James Brown rather. So a lot of rappers, your big time rappers, everything was a James Brown sample because his music just transcended what hip hop is. His beats, you know, his everything, his guitar licks, everything he had was part of hip hop. And once we started to get away from that and stop sampling, which, you know, I can understand the stop sampling kind of part and getting back to originality, just making beats and rhymes. But at the same time, we was giving a nod to James Brown, just saying, hey, we recognize what you did for this culture and for our music. So this is why we're sampling your songs. Before he passed away, he did get his due. You know, he sued to get all his royalties back. So, you know, big up to him for that. Much respect to him for that. But I think right now, the music is it's so redundant. The lyrics are so redundant. The look is so redundant. And not to take any away from the talent that's doing it, but you got to realize a lot of the classic hip hop artists are still alive. And if they're still alive, put out some good music. That's all it is. Just put out some music.
Yeah.
You never know what will happen, you know.